this. This is on mission.
It is.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Peters. Senator Murkowski.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and welcome, Secretary. I know you had an opportunity to take a quick trip up to Kodiak to see our Coast Guard men and women there. Thank you for that. I'm pleased to see the focus from the administration with regards to the Coast Guard within the reconciliation package. It is significant. It is meaningful. As I'm looking, though, at the skinny budget that we have here, I'm wondering whether or not the administration's budget request increases the Coast Guard's top line, because as important as it is to do what we're doing in reconciliation, we want to make sure that the service has the sustained funding and support that it deserves in annual appropriations. So I don't know if you want to speak quickly to that.
Well, yes, Senator, it is. We're building out the Coast Guard into the future. We have a request in for 15,000 more individuals that would come in and be a part of the organization. So it's not just the investment in the cutters, which we discussed, as well as, airframe that's been grounded because it needs to be replaced and we can no longer repair it. It is also building out the amount of support that we have as far as individuals and components.
I want to ask about not just the ships, the cutters, the airframes, but the people and where those people live. It was several commandants ago. It was Commandant Zukov who promised that Kodiak, Seward, Sitka, Ketchikan, they were going to get these fast response cutters. Well, the FRCs are out there, but what hasn't come through is the shoreside infrastructure upgrades. Sitka and Seward continue to be left hanging. And so the ships that were due to come to them are being parked in other communities. I mean, we are not only 1 year off, 2 year off, multiple years off. So this is something that I have raised with you, and I'm hopeful that we're finally going to be able to make that commitment to make sure that when you've got the ships, you've got the home port.
Right.
And when it comes to the home port, I think you saw in Kodiak, it's not just the housing, it is the child care, it's the medical options. And so I'm hoping that as we're looking at this a revitalization of the Coast Guard that is so overdue, and I so appreciate the focus that the administration is placing on this, that it really is this whole package.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And when on Force Design 2028, I'll get you the details on that so you can see that infrastructure is being addressed. And that was one of the things that was discussed quite extensively when I was up there with the Coasties and folks that were serving, was how challenging it was to be in a remote area and not have the access to basic needs that they have for their family, as well, especially medical care and specialized medical care. So
it is big. So I'm glad you had an opportunity to see that. I want to shift here with regards to parole and temporary protected status. We have a relatively significant population of immigrants in Alaska that are under patrol or TPS or both. They're small, but for us, they're meaningful in our communities. It's the Ukrainians, we have Afghanis, Venezuelans, we have some Haitians. The majority of these folks are just truly valued members of their new community. They're helping us meet workforce needs and really contributing to the tax base here. They've expressed great concern about their status and work authorizations that may be revoked or allowed to expire. So USCIS hasn't processed re-paroles, TPS renewals, or work authorizations for the Ukrainians, at least, for almost 5 months. And the concern is they have paid the fees to USCIS to process their applications, and yet they're not seeing any action on this. Can you share with me, share with the committee, any information on when this pause might end? There are so many that are concerned that the work authorizations will expire while they're waiting for this process.
yeah, we do have several countries that have been evaluated by the administration on their participation in TPS, and the program as it was established, was meant to be utilized on a temporary basis. So some of these TPS programs have been in place for many, many years. But the evaluation on why TPS should be utilized and when it can be utilized by a country is the process that the administration's going through. So if it's a conflict, environmental, economic concern, something that's going on, and you talked specifically about the Ukrainians as well. I will say that program is still there and being evaluated, but those folks may have gotten an email or something that was not correct and was rectified. So I know some folks were alarmed by that they received, but we did rectify that, and that was sent out. If their legal status had changed, it certainly did not apply to them, and we communicated that with them as well. The one thing I will say is that anyone who is on a program like this or on parole that has been revoked always has the opportunity to apply for asylum as well. And so that is the application that we are forwarding in many of these instances across the country from different countries that interact with us through these different programs.
And again, just the timing of an expiration
Right.
of the work authorization while they're waiting. So as much information as you can share with
You
us,
bet.
and I'm sure other states as well. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.